I'm Spider-Man. What's good, everybody? Happy. My neighbors are handing out poison, so today I'll let my kids go and have some day. Or happy Halloween, or whatever you want to call it. Um, yeah, it's the day that it's the only day of the year that the parents say, "Yeah, sure, go ahead, get some poison from the neighbors. It's cool. Talk to all the strangers. Take all the poison they give you, because they ain't giving out nothing good on Halloween. Fucking I mean, it's good, I guess, if you like fucking chemically flavored fucking food and shit. But it's expensive for me. I gotta buy a whole bunch of organic candy and stuff that ain't full of fucking artificial flavors and fucking all that other bullshit. So, so I might eat some of that candy after. Yeah, we take them trick or treating, and then we switch the bags out. Got two identical bags, and we just switch them. He doesn't know the whys. I mean, he hasn't caught on yet. So, I mean, I'm sure maybe next year. Spider King, Spider King. How's everybody doing? Everybody getting high? Everybody smoking? Everybody enjoying some Halloween candy? Yeah, that whole thing, Steve, is fucking. That's the most ridiculous fucking thing I ever heard. Trucks are fucking expensive. That's like fucking. You know what I mean? That's like fucking when you just start out doing drugs and shit. You fucking learn that shit. And they're like, I ain't giving none of this shit away for fucking free to people. It's just random strangers. I mean, sure, you're coming by my house on Halloween, I'll blaze you up. I'm taking some mushrooms on Halloween, sure, you can have some mushrooms. If I know you and stuff and you hanging out here, but I ain't just gonna, oh, sure, I don't have any other candy. Let me just give out some fucking THC fucking gummies and fucking lollipops and shit. I mean, fuck, I already got to fucking go and $40 worth of Halloween candy. Then if I bought all that fucking toxic shit, fucking, it would be, I could feed a fucking army. I know the news is fucking ridiculous. They actually fucking report that shit. The fucking people watch out for people handing out fucking cannabis edibles. Them shits is expensive. Fuck. Fuck am I gonna go handing them out to little kids for? Shit. Yeah, fuck going out and getting drunk on Halloween. Who needs to do that? When you can dress up in a costume and go out and get score some of them free drugs you heard about. Oh yeah, I used to when I was a teenager and stuff. I used to take either acid or mushrooms and stuff like that. I think last year we were on mushrooms, or I was on mushrooms last Halloween. I don't remember. Go back and watch last year's Halloween episode. I think I was on them for Halloween, the Halloween episode. I don't know. This is my favorite time of the year to do mushrooms. All the leaves are changing and stuff. It's not too hot. It's not too cold. It's perfect weather. Perfect, perfect hallucinogenic weather. Then all these places, I don't know if wherever you guys are from, but it's fucking crazy weather on the East Coast, some fucking tornadoes and raining and shit like that. Places like, oh, we're canceling Halloween. We're gonna have it this weekend and shit. Fuck that. Go out. It's fucking just rain. You dry. Fuck. We were kids. Fucking didn't matter. Just go out and trick or treat. Go get some fucking candy. some shit up. You know? Anybody dress up for Halloween? I'm Iron Spider-Man. Cop this new hoodie. It's my Halloween costume. We're the Spider family. Mini-Me was Spider-Man. So I had to be Iron Spider. My wife was Spider-Gwen. Yeah, that's crazy. Trick-or-treating in the snow. I know, I've seen people posting up online and shit, pictures of fucking pumpkins covered with fucking snow and shit. Oh, you enjoying the craziness of Salem right now, Lady Merritt? Fuck that shit. That place is just fucking straight up insanity on Halloween. Not doing that shit. What was I fucking gonna do here? Hold on, let me get some candy here. Try some of these fucking things out. That's pretty good. How about we do some news this week? Not even news. Do some Halloween news. Somebody to smoke with them. Tell the queen to come down. Alright, let's see here. What story do we want to kick it off with? Y'all just gonna have to deal with me eating candy and shit. So. Where the fuck is the story that I just saved for this page? No, I don't want to fucking... There we go. Alright. This is a good one, everybody. Holly Madison and Bridget Marcotte plan a seance to reconnect with the late Hugh Hefner in honor of Halloween. Did the stars align for Bridget and Holly? Because these ladies had big Halloween plans this week. The former Girls Next Door stars reportedly reunited for a special seance on Wednesday. In a recent interview, the pair opened up about their plans to use the spooky holiday to connect with their famous ex, the late Hugh Hefner. Let's find out if they connected with him. Speaking of E-News, Daily Pop, Bridget spilled more details about the ritual hosted at Madison's place with the help of a famous witch and psychic medium. The starlet said they came up with the idea because they think it's a fun idea to do right around Halloween time. The Holly's World star also noted she's been dealing with an influx of disgruntled, ghastly spirits at her home and thought the spiritual ceremony could allow her to communicate with them too and kill two birds with one stone. It's worth noting both women identify as ghost enthusiasts per their respective Instagram bios. As you know, Hefner, the famed founder and editor-in-chief Playboy magazine, died in his home in Los Angeles on September 27, 2017, at the age of 91. The cause was sepsis brought on by an E. coli infection. Whoa. But before passing, the Hollywood tycoon dated Bridget Holly and Kendra Wilkinson back in the day. In regards to, and a whole bunch of other fucking people. In regards to what she'll ask Hugh, the Ghost Magnet podcast host shared, I had this dream about him shortly after he died where I went to the mansion and he came down the stairs with his arms wide open and he gave out his big laugh. It's like this giant cackle that he had, and he goes, "My darling," and he gave me a big hug, and I could smell his cologne and I could feel the texture of his jacket. It just felt so real. When I woke up, it felt like I wasn't having a dream. That was something more. That's what I would ask him if it was a dream or if he really had come to say goodbye. Clearly, Bridget has some unanswered questions for Hef. As for ghosts stirring up trouble at the Madison residence, the 39-year-old claimed they've been terrorizing her by making weird noises at night, allegedly trying to contact her using her ghost kit, and even physically close one of her doors at one point, which is not easy to do. Yeah, closing doors, it's not an easy thing to do, everybody. It's a difficult task. Sometimes only a ghost can do it. Describing the creepy encounter and what she plans to do about it, she said it gets worse. So the next morning in her office, all the plaster on the ceiling fell. Perez Hilton typed this fucking article up. Um, she's going to ask them please not to damage the house. um, not expensive damage. Anyway, okay, so they can damage the house, but just not expensive things like making the ceiling fall down. Yeah, ghosts. They just come to your house and they make your ceiling fall down. They're like, fuck this shit. I don't like this ceiling. I'm taking it down. You know. So how did things pan out at the seance? As it turns out, the ladies live streamed the entire thing and shared it on social media, which, if you're curious, you can go and look online. But they're not the only celebrities who've tapped into the spiritual world for some much needed answers. Blah, 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 blah. All right. Lots of crazy stuff going on. Nope. Still no Jiggy. Maybe next week. Maybe he'll join us in the chat. Maybe he'll Skype in, but Jiggy's still not able to get here yet. Again, I'll allow him to explain the whole situation when he does come back. He thanks everybody for wishing him well and all the nice things everybody said. Everybody asking about him. So yeah, he's chilling at home right now, doing what he needs to do, and he should be back. I'm not gonna say next week because I don't know yet, but hopefully maybe next week. No, it'll be soon. All right, let's see here. Which one do we want to do next? Let's see. Victorian scientists thought they'd found an explanation for ghosts, but the public didn't want to hear it. As the film Ghostbusters showed, true believers in the supernatural rarely prosper in the scientific establishment. Throughout history, scientists who entertained theories on ghost magic and the afterlife were discredited by their peers and condemned for tarnishing the rational foundation of the discipline. Even Isaac Newton carefully downplayed his interest in alchemy to preserve his reputation as the father of modern science. Alchemy is science. I just didn't realize that back then. Let's see. Victorian Britain experienced the golden age of the literary ghost story when imaginations ran wild at the very thought of the supernatural. But at the same time, there seemed no dark corner that the rational scientific mind couldn't illuminate. Researchers such as John Ferrari and Samuel Hibbert were keen to clear up the talk of phantoms. These pioneering physicians interpreted sightings of ghosts not as external entities, but as the product of glitches in the brain or after images from overstimulated optical nerves. For such theorists, the supernatural originated in the darkest recesses of the mind, with all of it self-delusions. These dudes sound like they was onto something here. Apparitions weren't the dead appearing to the living, but fleeting illusions thrown up by an unpredictable psyche, often provoked by ailments or in poor health, as Ebenezer Scrooge said to the ghost of his late business partner Jacob Marley in Charles Dickens' Christmas Carol. But many people enjoyed entertaining these self delusions. From its origins in upstate New York in 1848, spiritualism, the belief that spirits of the dead could communicate with the living, spread to Britain in the 1850s. One of its appeals was that it seemed to offer observable empirical evidence of the influence of the spirit world upon our material surroundings. During seances, meetings in which people tried to contact the deceased through a medium spirits could supposedly. One second, sorry. Spirits could supposedly cause furniture to lift and move. The eminent physicist Michael Faraday set out to clear up these strange happenings. Debunking the bumps in the night. A keen experimenter, Faraday devised the ideomonitor effect to prove that phenomena have nothing to do with ghosts. Instead, it was the product of unconscious muscle movements of those participating in the seance. Scientists from various fields were engaged in the march of the intellect, an attempt to diminish the reality of a person's experiences with ghosts to tricks of the mind or other quirks of human perception. But many Victorians weren't satisfied. As my own research has found, ghost stories and supernatural folklore continued to circulate widely among urban and rural communities in Victorian Britain up until this day. Even some scientists were very curious. The Society of Physical Research, established in 1882, believes nothing should be beyond the realm of scientific inquiry, including the supernatural. Led by respected scholars such as Henry and Eleanor Sidgwick and the physicist William Barrett, members of the society were willing to stake their reputations on their findings. Various subcommittees investigating hypnotism, telepathy, seances, and hauntings. Their work helped expose frauds, and they were careful to apply scientific control to their investigations. But critics complained that their willingness to give credence to such ideas would have a corrupting influence that could only revive a credible belief in ghosts. As the Paul Gazette put it in October 21st, 1882. Scientific attitude is so new and unfixed a possession that it can only be preserved by careful abstinence from dangerous trains of thought. Even the ablest and almost scientific observer, when they have taken the first step by inquiring, many sink into the very bottom of the pond before they're finished. Despite the efforts of the 19th century scientists, ghosts have never been convincingly drawn into the realm of scientific explanation. Even so, it's not uncommon to find TB ghost hunters reading words in the squawks and crackles of static on high-tech recording equipment and supposedly haunted houses, the modern equivalent of moving furniture in candlelit drawing rooms. The enchanting appeal of unknown seems certain to ensure that ghosts live on forever. Well, that's pretty interesting. Way back in the 1850s, they were saying it's all made up in your head. What else do we got here? All right. 10 spooky and terrifying Halloween facts. Celebrate Halloween 2019 by learning the history behind some of your favorite Halloween traditions. Blah, blah, blah. I don't want to read all that intro. I'll just get to the first one. Let's see if anybody can get this before I say the answer. The word witch comes from the Old English Weiss, which means, what does it mean? What does it mean? What do you guys think witch means in Old English? I'll give y'all a minute. I eat some candy. I'm gonna light a blunt here. Smoke Queen has joined us. She might do a news story too. Anybody know what the meaning of the word witch from the Old English definition comes? You're all looking it up now, so I'm just gonna say it. It means wise woman. What? This is why everybody was so scared of witches, because they're thought of as wise women. Fucking men, huh? All right. So, which means wise women. They used to celebrate the start of the new spiritual year on All Hallows Eve. These wise women were natural healers and teachers and were highly respected individuals way before we were led to believe they were taking part in witchcraft and conjuring up evil spells in their cauldrons. Yes, there's definitely a lot of ectoplasm out there. Came from Slimer. All right, 2, the black cat. Black cats have become so associated with witchcraft that animal shelters have taken steps to protect these felines by not allowing them to be adopted on or around this time of year. Okay. That's it for that one. Number 3, pumpkins. According to Celtic lore, a miserly old man named Jack O'Lantern used to play tricks on the devil and so was forbidden entrance to either heaven and hell. Instead, Jack was condemned to wander the earth forever. More, he was said to use his lantern to lead people astray from their paths. The British tradition of carving a scary face into a vegetable was originally done with turnips. Irish Americans started using pumpkins because they were cheaper. Interesting. Let's see, bonfires. I mean, who doesn't like a good bonfire? I mean, it doesn't have to be associated with Halloween, but this is my favorite time of year to have a fire, though. Fall is my favorite time of year, followed by winter, and then summer, and then spring. All right, bonfires. During Halloween celebrations, bonfires were lit to ensure the sun would return after a long winter. Often, Druid priests would throw the bones of cattle into the flames, and so bonfire um, became bonfire. That's pretty interesting fact. Y'all didn't know that. That's how it became. That's where bonfire came from, because they used to throw bones in that shit on Halloween. Bobbing for apples is a popular Halloween tradition. Apples are thrown into a tub of water, and you endeavor to catch one in your mouth as they bob around. When you have caught one, you peel it carefully and pass it the strip of the peel 3 times around your head, after which you throw it over your shoulder and it falls to the ground in the shape of the initial letter of your true love's name. What the fuck? I never heard of all that bullshit. Anybody else hear all that? Excuse me. Number 6, Halloween fear. Samhanophobia is the fear of Halloween. This fear can also present with other types of phobias like phasmophobia, which is the fear of ghosts, wiccophobia, the fear of witchcraft, and the fear of darkness, nyctophobia. Nyctophobia. Witchcraft. As the fear of witchcraft washed over Europe, stray cats that were tended by old women were also feared to be witches in disguise. Single elderly women were accused not only of witchcraft but also of being able to actually transform themselves into black cats. And the vampires turn themselves into bats. Who doesn't know that? Hello? And okay, they didn't go too much into this. Maybe we'll talk a little bit about the bullshit of Salem after, which we've done on every Halloween for the last 6 years. But Salem, number 8, Salem, where the infamous witch trials were held in the 1690s, claims to be the Halloween capital of the world. It's fucking crazy there on Halloween, but it's no witches were hung in Salem, everybody. The rain on your parade. And the trials weren't actually even in Salem, and neither of the hangings were in Danvers, and the trials were just outside of Salem, I believe, in Linfield. I gotta. We'll look it up, and I got the thing somewhere saved on here. I think I saved it earlier because I went to look it up and everything. But yeah, if you look up the real history of the Salem witch trials and stuff, and find out that like none of it happened in there. Now supposedly there's some haunted houses and stuff in Salem, and there's the witch house or whatever they call it. But it's all a bunch of bullshit. It's a fucking tourist trap. Big huge tourist trap. As Jiggy would say, you'll fucking find. Probably you're more likely to see fucking ghosts of fucking dead fish and fucking dead sea creatures and stuff there than anything else, because it's a fucking a harbor and a fucking fishing port for the longest fucking time. I think a couple of them they did the crushing thing, but most of them were hang. They were hung. But actually did hang people for witches and stuff, and they did have a trial and stuff. But it didn't actually all happen. Everything like the way it's told in Salem wasn't like even. That's the way it happened. Like Danvers is a good fucking 10, 15, 20 minute ride away, depending on traffic and shit. Like where they were hung, and like there's no witches buried in Salem. Like almost nothing to do with it happened actually in Salem. I think I like Judge and stuff is from Salem. I think he lived in Salem. And supposedly his house is haunted, and the people that were a part of the trial and all this stuff is haunted and everything and all this shit. But it's all again, it's literally all fucking ghost stories and shit. If you get what's Sam's? You won't remember Sam's last name, Jiggy. With this guy Sam, we know. He does all kinds of ghost stories. He knows that he's a historian for Salem and everything. He knows everything. He's got a bunch of great books about it, all kinds of stuff. He goes into all the story, and like the storytelling stuff, but he also does the true stories and where the history of where the actual stories come from, and he breaks it all down and stuff. I'll have to get his last name and everything. But yeah, Salem is just a bunch of fucking. Like I said, it's a tourist trap right now. Ask if Lady Marin's still in the chat. Like, how's it going over there on Salem right now, Lady Marin? It's a freaking nightmare. People in Salem, they don't go out for fucking like a week. Take the week off and they stay home in their houses because it's fucking nuts outside. Number 9, the shades of Halloween. Halloween is traditionally associated with the colors orange and black. Orange because of its links to the fall harvest, and black because of its connection to the darkness and death. Okay, and number 10, bats. The bonfires that the ancient Celts built to celebrate would often attract bats. They were also feared as people thought that the witches would turn in. The witches turned into bats too. There were cats and bats. And into all other creatures on All Hallows Eve. Oh, funny stuff. Alright, let's see. We got a couple more here. Which one are we going to do? All right, these 6 places are considered as the world's most haunted. How many have you visited? Scroll through all that crap. Where's the list start? List. I'm trying to scroll through all this to get to the list. All right. Kaldahara, Rajasthan, India. The village has been deserted since the 1800s and is believed to be cursed. According to local legend, the village was once inhabited by wealthy people. As minister named Salim Singh fell in love with a villager's daughter, and in order to marry her, threatened villagers with irrationally high taxes. To protect themselves and the girl from the evil minister, the villagers left the place overnight, but not without cursing it. It is believed that no one can dwell in peace as an evil aura lurks in the town until this date. Should you decide to visit this place, take someone along with you. Okay. Poveglia Island in Venice, Italy. The picturesque city of Venice is a world-famous travel destination, but Poveglia, a small abandoned island between Venice and Lido, gives travelers frightful chills. The place was used as a quarantine station for people suffering from the bubonic plague in the 20th century. I want to go there. Uh, and later a mental asylum in the 1920s. The island has been featured in several paranormal shows. The island is not technically open to the public, but there are some tour operators that will take you around. And number 3, Alcatraz. San Francisco. San Francisco is a vibrant city famous for its colorful Victorian houses, charming cable cars, and the iconic Golden Gate Bridge. But there is also the infamous Alcatraz Island, famed for the notorious criminals who were once imprisoned there. Travelers can book a guided tour and learn everything about the prison's infamous past. But if you are brave enough, you can also pay a visit after dark, as night tours are available. And who knows, you may even hear the sounds of Al Capone's banjo echoing through the cells. Halloween and shit, you can stay there like overnight and everything. It's crazy. People paying to stay in fucking jail. I don't know. All right, let's see here. Next, we got Island of the Dolls, Mexico City, Mexico. As one of the largest cities in the world, Mexico City could be best described as an experience. This Halloween, indulge in an extra creepy experience by reading up on the mysterious Island of Dolls, just south of Mexico City. The Isla de la Muecas has been featured in various television series about paranormal activity and home to terrifying dolls hanging all over trees. There's trees everywhere, just covered with dolls. Isle of Wight in England. So, set on the south coast, the isle offers stunning scenery with dramatic cliffs and unspoiled countryside. This fascinating and historic destination, however, is also full of supernatural stories and attracts thousands of ghost hunters every year. For travelers interested in meeting one of the many resident ghosts, a walk along the island's haunted trails is sure to do the trick. Norfolk Island, Australia. Situated in the Pacific Ocean, Norfolk Island is a small island located 1,400 kilometers east of mainland Australia. Today, this beautiful destination is home to green rolling hills, rocky shorelines, and the famous Norfolk pine trees. The island, however, was not always such a pristine paradise. During the 19th century, it was home to some of the world's most violent criminals, and the island is rumored to be haunted. That was it? Oh, yeah, it was only 6. I thought it was a top 10. There we go. 6 of the hottest places in the world. According to those people. All right. Here's a good one. Don't have the little award thing to give her, but this lady probably gonna get the award for the week. I think it's a sour. All right. Woman claims demonic portal in her living room has led to an invasion of spirits in her house. Okay, that right there just shows you that the people writing this article don't know what the fuck they're talking about. And she doesn't know what the fuck that she's talking about if they're just copying word for word what she's saying and shit. A demonic portal. Are they demonic spirits? What kind of spirits are they? They're just letting spirits. I mean, it's just, you know what I mean? I don't know. It's demonic. And usually demons aren't spirits. They're demons. They're not spirits. Anyway, a mother of 4 has revealed how she will be spending Halloween trying to communicate. Oh, so she's going to communicate with them now. That's even better. We all seen how that goes in Poltergeist and shit. Have invaded her home through a demonic portal in her living room. From the outside, Steph Hopper's 2-bedroom house in Flint, North Wales, looks like a typical suburban property. But she claims that inside it has become a hotbed of paranormal activity, with unexplained bangs, strange smells, and spooky visions now the norm. Rather than running for the hills, Steph, 39, who is married to Colin, 40, a disc jockey, and has always suspected her house was haunted, is hoping this Halloween to communicate with the specters that frequently visit. The stay at home mom said, I've lived in my home for almost 12 years now and first noticed strange things going on about 3 months in. We spoke to a medium earlier this year, and she told us that there's a portal to the spiritual world right in our living room. Holy fuck. Is this before the medium even showed up? Goddamn, this medium is good. That's basically a door for the spirits to come through. So how is it fucking demonic now? Where the fuck's the demonic shit coming from? She continued, the idea scares me when I'm home alone, but other than that, it really doesn't bother me. The spirits have never done any harm. So why you say they're fucking demonic? In fact, I would love to be able to have a conversation and build a proper relationship with them. Steph, who has 4 children, Harvey 14 from a previous relationship, and Thomas 9, Charlie 8, and Paisley 7, with Collins first, meddled with the paranormal when she was a teenager. After reading about the subject at 16, she decided to use a Ouija board in a bid to communicate with the dead. She recalled, nothing happened, but that night I tried to go to sleep. A mist came into my room, and it manifested as a figure standing over my bed. Whoa, boy. And we just entered the land of woo. It stood there for a good minute before stepping back and disappearing into the mist again. And then the mist rolled back out the room. Fucking ghost of controlling the mist now. I knew 100% what I saw was real. But something stopped me telling people at the time, she continued. I didn't want to say anything that would upset or scare anybody. I suppose part of me didn't want to be mocked either. For years, Steph kept her brush with supernatural to herself. But then everything changed in early 2008 when she moved into the council house in Flint where she lives today. To be nearer to her mom. At first, everything seemed perfectly normal, but within 3 months, she began to notice peculiar things happen. Recalling the first eerie incident, she explained, it was just me and Harvey in the house at that time, and he was tucked up in bed. All of a sudden, I heard all this violent banging coming from his room, she continued. I ran upstairs and found him fast asleep in his room. But the weird thing was that the bed had been pulled about 2 feet away from the wall where it usually was. Now, looking back, I realized it was the beginning of the haunting. Not long after, just a month after Thomas was born in November 2009, Steph became even more sure that she was sharing her home with something otherworldly, she continued. It was between Christmas and New Year when we heard a few loud knocking noises that couldn't be explained. It didn't sound like our house. You get used to the noises your own house makes. The bangs keep getting louder and louder, closer and closer. In the end, we went to my mom's house that night, she continued. The next day, Colin did some investigating and started tapping different parts of the house upstairs to see where the noise was coming from. When he started banging on the banister, it made the exact same sound, and that's when we knew something unseen had been making the sounds right from the top of the stairs. Since then, Steph has said her and her family have experienced so many supernatural encounters that it's hard to recall them all. Not only will she hear crashes and bangs, but she also gets whiffs of peculiar scents, including one disturbing occasion, rotten flesh, and regularly notices her belongings going missing mysteriously, she explained. Colin had his work phone go missing once. We blitzed the whole house looking for it, but it's a no-show. She continued, then 6 months later, there was a t-shirt thrown on the floor, and I lifted it up, and there was Colin's phone right by the bedroom door. Somewhere we'd walked past loads of times since it had gone missing. Another time I was in the kitchen and looked outside, and I saw a soldier who looked like they were from centuries ago marching by with helmets and swords pointing to the sky. All sorts of things have happened. Even vases flying across the room and smashing. We did consider moving out at one point, but we've learned to live along the side of it. I would have cameras all over the fucking house. If you got vases, just the vase just lifts up off the table and flies across the room and smashes, and you don't got that shit on film yet, I don't fucking believe you. Not once has she said we've tried to record it or anything. It's been going on since 2008, and you're just going to have a seance now? The house was built in the 50s or 60s. We researched the area and we can't find anything connected to the paranormal, apart from the fact that we're very close to the ruins of Flint Castle. They were most likely battles where the house stands now. She added that we haven't directly talked to the children about it, but they know for sure some unusual things are going on like us. They're not too scared, though. Shortly after speaking to the medium, Steph managed to capture, she did capture a video clip that she believes is proof that the ghosts are inhabiting her home. Oh, they got an orb. They caught an orb. Now Steph and Colin, who fancy themselves as novice paranormal investigators, are determined to make further contact with their transcendental tenant and have bought an extra kit to help them this Halloween. Halloween is when the veil is thin and the living and the dead can communicate better. If you got a fucking portal in your house, it doesn't matter what time of the fucking year it is to communicate with them. We'll have some friends around for support and see what happens as the night draws in. Yeah, you're all going to get fucking drunk, take some mushrooms, and see some ghosts. Something. Who the fuck knows? She concluded, we're not scared, though. We're excited. After all, who doesn't want to know who they're sharing their house with? It turns out it was a fucking squirrel or something living in that house the whole time. Crazy shit. Alright, I think we got one more last story here. See how crazy we can get it. Have some more candy here. Some satanic candy. You got over there, huh?
Yeah.
Good shit. Alright, let's see here. Seen something weird in the sky? Thousands in Pennsylvania and New Jersey have too. New UFO report shows. That light you just saw zooming across the night sky, it was probably a shooting star or maybe a comet or something. It wasn't a UFO. There's just no way, unless... Questioning what you saw that night you were camping or having a fire in the backyard isn't uncommon. There are literally thousands of people across the country, and many in Pennsylvania and New Jersey, who thought about the same thing and even went as far to report it to the authorities. The National UFO Reporting Center takes these claims and puts them in their database, which has thousands and thousands of reports that can be traced back as far as the late 1800s. It gets a bit spotty before that, though there are a couple of reports from 1561, but someone is not happy with Hans Glaser. The good folks over New Fork update the report list every so often, most recently October 4th. Their database can be sorted by location too, with tabs for each North American territory. All all 50 states, Pennsylvania has the 7th most reported sightings, and New Jersey comes in 14th. Pennsylvania with 3,999 total sightings. New Jersey with 2,387. For context, California has the most with whopping. Well, look at the size of California, too. 13,811 reported sightings. The second highest is Florida. Again, look at the size of Florida, with 6,727. The state with the least, North Dakota residents, have only seen 220 report. They've only recorded incidents, I guess. 220. If you want to include Washington, D.C., it only has 135 to its name. What's important to note is the disclaimer that states that they're not making a comment on the validity of the report. They're merely compiling citizens who claim of what they're seeing. What's most useful about the database is it includes the data and locations of each report. Most recently logged claim in New Jersey happened on October 1st in Columbia, New Jersey. The observer, a truck driver, noted that they saw a hovering band of lights. They wrote in the report that they were sleeping in at a truck stop and woke up to use the bathroom, and it was then that the light appeared for about 2 seconds before moving off. In what exact direction, I don't know, at an incredible speed. That probably should say in that exact direction. Lee Valley's most recent sighting happened in Allentown last month. The report from September 19th from a couple who heard a sound like a flying plane close to their house, and when they looked up out the window, saw a triangle shape with 8 white round lights underneath and a blinking red one on the end of it. Okay, so obviously right there we know that it's from here. It's probably a TR3B, and it's not alien or anything like that. There's a lot of fucking man-made craft up there, and especially that right there. I mean, because aliens, they don't need lights on their spaceships. You don't need lights to fly across the fucking galaxy, unless you have a fucking light as strong as the sun to light up the shit in front of you. You don't need light up there like we do when it gets dark, because we're on the dark side and everything like that. The sun lights everything up there. That's why when they're on the moon, you can't see stars, because they're on the moon and the sun is there lighting up the sky. You don't see stars in the fucking daytime because the sun is there. But when we're backs to the sun, we're on the dark side there, and it's nighttime for us, and the sun's not fucking lighting up this shit. We can see the stars. So, people who say they see UFOs, and they say it's aliens, and it's got lights on it, right there, you know it's not alien, because aliens don't need fucking lights. What are the aliens like? Well, fuck, I'm gonna be making a trip to Earth, so let me make sure that I fucking have my fucking goddamn UFO, my spacecraft here, FAA compliant, and make sure I put my fucking red lights on it and shit, and all my markers, so that they know that I'm flying around. And that's how you know that an experimental craft is moving up in the phases and stuff like that, because they actually having marking lights. It's got red light, you know what I mean? It's got the telltale signs like they put on airplanes and shit like that. So TR3B should be making its way out and stuff. Like, I mean, it's pretty much, I mean, everybody knows about it and everything like that, but it will be publicly announced at some point. Just like they did with the stealth bomber and all the fucking stealth ships and all the other fucking stealth helicopter and the other shit that they come out with. They work on this shit for a long time. This shit that's flying around. Okay, we know the TR3B. TR3B is fucking old technology. The new shit that's going around and everybody's seeing and stuff like that, that's the next thing. That's why I'm saying TR3Bs, a couple other things are going to be coming out. They're already going to say, oh, look at these new space jet fucking planes we got for the Space Force and shit like that. It's going to be TR3Bs and stuff, and other models kind of like it. All right, let's see here. And when they looked out the window, they saw the triangle shape. I already read that. So, yeah. So unless you are sneaking into Area 51, there might not ever be conclusive evidence of UFOs even existing. But if you do not see something weird, just know you're not the only one. And make sure to have your keyboard ready. No, have your fucking cameras and shit ready. Keyboard and fucking that shit. Fucking just go. You can just go live right on YouTube. Just go live. Boom. Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, whatever the fuck you want, just go live right away. Fuck, look at that shit. TR3B, everybody. Or whatever the fuck you want to call it, you know what I mean? So I think that's it for the news. I'm going to take a quick break real quick, though, so I can use the restroom. It's the United States. There's military bases everywhere. That's what I right away. People talking about UFOs and stuff like that. I look at the area and I look for the closest fucking military base and stuff like that. That explains it right there. Just like how we went Willie Michael and stuff, and he figured it out and stuff. What the UFO that he put up a video about was coming from the Air Force base. And then the night we went out one night with him, and we did an investigation up here. What's up, Brandon? You down in Freetown State Forest chilling? Yeah, Profile Rock's all fucked up now. It's gone. It fucking fell down. It collapsed and shit. Fucking crazy, huh? But so yeah, so we did investigation. We did investigation down there at Freetown and Bridgewater Triangle with him. But we also did one up north on what's the name? Dudley Road in Billerica, which is supposed to be the most haunted road in Massachusetts. And when we were up there doing an investigation, we saw a UFO, not aliens. It was it. Once it actually went close enough and stuff. It was a fucking drone. It was a military drone. But I mean, not like a little DJI. I mean, this thing was fucking huge. Somebody was probably inside piloting this thing. It wasn't fucking being controlled remotely and shit like that. It was a huge fucking giant drone. But once we could see it and finally we saw it had all the right marking lights and stuff like that and everything. So they are flying drones around here. They're not supposed to be flying drones and stuff like that around here. They say they're not doing it and using it. But it took off from fucking the Air Force Base. Hanscom Air Force Base, because we were right there, real close, and because that's where it originated from, right there. And as it got closer, boom, 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 and it went right towards the city. So they're fucking flying and hovering this thing over the fucking city, doing whatnot. Who knows what, modern and doing whatever. Who the fuck knows where it went after that once we couldn't see it and stuff. But it was heading right that way. So those things are up there, and it did pick up pace and stuff, and then kind of zip off and stuff. Like it got up and once it got going and shit, like it was zipping by and shit. So I think we still have actually video. They might even video on that way the fuck back. That was fucking like almost 3 years ago now, maybe 2-3 years ago. Yeah, Brandon. Profile Rock is it's the profile of an Indian chief when you used to look at it. But you can't see it when you're right at the bottom of it and stuff. You would have to be across. If you know where I am, there's the trail that comes up, and Profile Rock would be to the left. And then you have up this way, goes up kind of up a hill, and there's some hiking trails and stuff. If you're over there and down underneath, and you have to, because you're there at night, you used to be able to take and look up at the rock and shine a flashlight on it and stuff. And during the day, you could just see it during the day. But at night, it was really cool the way it did. And it looked like the Indian chief out of the rocks. But Jiggy and everybody, they were just there doing an investigation. Again, we went back there to reinvestigate and do it again because we like to go to places again and again to see if we can get things to happen more than one time, because that's scientific evidence. That's how you gather evidence and stuff. You don't just, improve things. So, yeah. But yeah, the Profile Rocket fell down and stuff. Like, it finally collapsed. They had some pieces of like metal straps and stuff bolted to the rocks and anchor and trying to hold the rocks up and everything, but it all collapsed. It's all, I mean, underneath you could see that it had whatever made it years and years ago, however many years ago that thing formed. That's how it formed, because that whole cliff collapsed away, and then when it was left, it was the Indian cliff there. They didn't actually carve that to look like that. And it's supposedly haunted. Supposedly the Indian chief, he sits on top of the rock and everything, but we sat up there for hours and hours and stuff. Sat at the bottom, sat all around and stuff. You guys can watch us investigate it on Amazon Prime and stuff. So yeah, but the whole fucking face collapsed, the whole thing. So it doesn't look anything like it used to. If you fucking go there during the day, you shine your flashlights up, you can't see no Indian chief anymore. All gone, dude. I know, because you're there. If you're there at night and you don't got good lighting and everything, like really good flashlights and stuff, it just looks like the pile of rocks at the bottom. And you look up, you can still see the cliff there, but where the chief is, all gone. Yeah, Jiggy said they went there and everything was gone, but actually, when he was there, I think he said that they still had some yellow tape up, and they had the area blocked off because they were afraid of some more stuff fucking falling down and stuff. They didn't want anybody to get hurt, because everybody climbs on that shit. So How did I light that? Let me just put that out. All right, so I'm gonna. I don't have music or anything. You're just gonna have to hold on a minute. I'll be right back in 1 second. So. Do, 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 do. I got fucking all that shit. I got a cable and then just use Hulu and Netflix and I don't know, we got a Fire Stick thing, so got all kinds of shit on it. Halloween candy. Good shit. Oops. So, what can we talk about now? How can my phone go? These M&M things, they're not M&Ms, are way better than M&Ms. Well, I'm trying to find my thing, the sandwich trial shit. Oh, that's too much shit to fucking read. Anyway, they didn't hang in fucking Salem. Not even buried it. They didn't bury the witches in Salem. Like I said, I'm pretty sure like a judge or the governor or something was in Salem. That's it. Yeah, whatever. I'm fucking high. So, what else can we see? Anybody see any vampires tonight? How about mummies? Remember the old school Halloween costumes? The fucking plastic mask and like that fucking like plastic thing you just pulled over you, and there was like just a couple of things. You had like Casper, and the girls could be like Raggedy, and they had the little slits in the eyes. They got around and they like cut up your eye, and you couldn't see out. You couldn't breathe. Actually, could find pictures of that shit. All right, ready. Look at all these things. Remember these fucking costumes back in the day? The hell was that one? If any of y'all see your old fucking pictures of you on Halloween, yell at your parents. Look, this dead ass right here. This one right here. You guys see that? Why isn't it switched? Hold on. Stupid thing. I couldn't see what you guys were seeing. Hold on, let me fix it. There we go. Who remembers this couch right here? 1970s couch, 60s, 70s, and these costumes. I used to be that Casper right there. That's why, like, this dead ass looks like my grandparents' fucking living room, and that looks like me and my cousins and shit get ready to go out Halloween, fucking like 1980s. But they were costumes that were like our older brothers and other stuff like that from like the 70s. I can bring up this. Do that. We just had somebody knocking on our door at like 9 o'clock at night. We didn't even give out candy. We went trick or treating and like it. Yeah, mushrooms on Halloween is good. I'm gonna take some mushrooms this weekend, I think. Oh, let me switch that back. We'll get those 1970s costumes out of here. But there we go. Those are the costumes. Remember them shits from back in the day? Goodbye. Yeah. Those were the good old days. Back when your candy could have razor blades in it. Now you might get some THC edibles. Notice how they don't complain about razor blades anymore in the candy at Halloween? It's all about watch out for the edibles. A whole bag of candy over here. I'm gonna fucking eat it all because I bought it. The sour things are pretty good. Hope y'all having some good Halloween candy. Or enjoying your Halloween. Or whatever you celebrate, if you celebrate anything. I'll switch this back over so I can see. Oh, you guys are just sitting here and watching me eat Halloween candy on Halloween. I haven't even had time to freaking really do anything. I was able to find some Halloween news articles and stuff. I'm just so busy. Yeah, to talk for 3 hours. God damn, these things fucking sour. Holy shit. I'll smoke one last blunt here. And we'll call it a night. Anybody got anything they want to talk about? Any questions? Or am I just going to keep on rambling on? Got nothing really to rant about. Oh, Corey Good, they put up the Sphere Being Alliance put up their preview for the cosmic fucking disclosure or whatever the fuck that stupid shit is. No, we don't have the call in anymore or anything like that. So, no calls tonight. Like I said, I'm gonna smoke this last blunt here, and then that's it. We're gonna call it a night this week, and until next week, and maybe Jiggy will be back. Maybe he won't. We'll have to see what happens. Yeah, but he's doing okay. He's doing good now. Yep, yep, yep. So everybody's smoking on that good stuff. I don't even fucking remember which one I rolled in this blunt. Had some platinum OG. Something else. I can't even remember right now. I'm fucking tired. It's a long day. What's happening in the chat that I missed? Netflix stuff. Yep. Drones. That's what it is. It's fucking like a lot of these fucking UFOs and shit, man. These fucking people think it's fucking aliens, proof of aliens. No, it's proof that the fucking there's people flying shit that you don't know about in the fucking sky. Always with the lights. Right away when somebody starts telling me a UFO story and they say it's got lights on, I'm like, well, and they're trying to tell me that they saw aliens because they saw a UFO. I'm like, well, it's definitely not fucking aliens. I thought Jiggy was might jump into the chat room at least, but he must be resting, which is okay. Oop, shit. Maybe we'll do a show before next week if Jiggy is able to come into the studio. Come on. He wants to come on and he wants to talk to everybody and talk and stuff. Well, he's just not really able to right now. So I know some people on watching and stuff might know a little bit of what's going on because I know he's talked to some people, but it's, whole story to go with it, whole adventure that he's been on. I guess you could say, a whole adventure called life. I'm fucking high as a kite. What am I fucking 1, 2, 3? This is my fourth blunt, pretty much to the dome. An hour and 20 minutes. I mentioned before I came down here, I smoked with Smoke Queen before I came down here to smoke with you guys. She smoked a little bit when she came back down to sit, but well, he thanks you for being concerned and stuff, but no need to be concerned now. Like I said, he's on the mend now. He'll be better, and he's getting better and better every day. So yeah. Be all fixed up and good as new. Soon, 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 soon. Yeah, he takes everybody. He tells me every week to tell you guys what's up. Yeah, it's thanks, Nicholas. It's hard to come up with and keep on talking continuously for 3 hours all by myself and everything. That's why I've done shorter shows and stuff. Like I said, it actually kind of worked out because I had a lot going on, um, new jobs and stuff like that. Uh, well, another job. I got another job now. I'm doing and stuff, so that I do at night and everything, which I got to go do after I'm done doing this here. So between that and kids in school and his birthday, it was this weekend, so he was getting ready for his party, all that shit. So kind of worked out that not having to do a full 3 hour show and everything. But I've been Jiggy at too, of course. Yeah, I mean, even when we're not doing a show, we usually hang out just about every single night, and I haven't hung out with Jiggy in almost 3 weeks now. I've only seen him once in the last 3 weeks, so but I still talk to him and stuff when he can talk, and he's just basically resting a lot. So that's what he needs: is rest, rest, rest. Yep. All right. I'm not even gonna finish smoking that blunt right now because I'm fucking high as a kite. That's 3.5 blunts I just smoked in an hour and a half. It's like a blunt every 15 minutes, every 20 minutes, whatever the fuck it breaks down to. So, until next week, everybody, thank you for tuning in. And hopefully next week I'll be back with Jiggy. If not, I'll try and come up with something this week. Hopefully it's not as crazy and as busy, and I'll figure out something we can talk about. If y'all know me on Twitter and on Instagram and stuff. If you have any ideas, send me some ideas. I'll try and do something to fill this time. Or if Jiggy's back, we'll be talking about Jiggy's whole fun, crazy, not so fun, whatever adventure he wants to call it. It's definitely an adventure, everybody. So thank you all. Hit that fucking hitting this fucking thumbs up and shit. I don't even give a fuck about any of that shit. Thanks to everybody who's here watching and stuff like that. Like it doesn't like it matters or anything like I don't really give a fuck about that shit. So don't worry about that shit. But thank you everybody who joins in every week and those people who just joined in now. Whatever. Until next week. Peace and love. I'm out of here.